Are you doing things because you genuinely want to? Or are you doing them because everyone else is? The car you want, the house you're saving for, the career path you're on. Are those yours? Or are you just copying what you see around you? Today, we're talking about how to stop living on autopilot and start living for yourself. If you're new here, welcome to the Quest for Self. I'm Allie, and this is Mia. If you've been here before, thanks so much for coming back. Today, we're talking about conformity, authenticity, and why you need to question whether you're living your life or someone else's version of it. So, let's dive in. I was walking down the street the other day and I saw two little girls. One of them was in the stroller. She smiled and looked at her left and said hi to the concierge. Her sister was walking next to her and immediately looked at her sister, looked at the concierge, and did the exact same thing. It was a genuine and sweet moment, but it made me think, how many of us are doing that? How many of us are replicating what everyone around us is doing without ever asking if it's what we actually want? You want a bigger house, but is that because you want a bigger house or because everyone around you is buying a bigger house? You want a better car, but is that because you love that car or because you think that's what success looks like? You're working towards a career goal. But is that your goal? Or is that what your parents wanted for you? What society told you you should want? Here's the thing, we grow up learning to fit in, to blend in, to be like everyone else. We're taught that conformity is safe, that standing out makes you weird, that doing what everyone else does is the right path. But as we get older, we realize standing out is being unique. It's being yourself. And yes, that's not always rewarded, but it's rewarding. So I want you to ask yourself, are you doing things for yourself or are you doing them to be like everyone else? Because here's what happens when you just copy everyone around you. You end up living a life that looks good on paper, but doesn't feel like yours. You buy the house everyone says you should buy. You take the job because everyone says it's impressive. You follow the timeline because everyone says it's normal. And then one day you wake up and you realize, I don't even know if this is what I actually want. I was just doing what I saw everyone else doing. So here's what I want you to do: question everything. I mean, everything. Why do you want that house? Is it because you genuinely love it or because it looks like success? Why do you want that career? Is it because it excites you or because it impresses people? Why are you following that timeline? Is it because it feels right for you or because everyone else is doing it? And here's the hard part. Sometimes the answer is both. Sometimes you want something because you genuinely want it and because society tells you you want it. And honestly, that's okay. But you need to know the difference. You need to be aware of why you're making the choices you're making. Because when you live on autopilot, when you just do what everyone else is doing without questioning it, you end up living someone else's life, a life that's not yours. And honestly, that's not freedom, that's conformity. So here's what I want you to do this week. One, just pick one thing you're working towards, a goal, a purchase, a life milestone, and ask yourself, do I actually want this? Or am I doing it because everyone else is? Two, if the answer is because everyone else is, pause. Don't abandon it. Just pause and ask yourself, if no one else cared, would I still want this? Three, give yourself permission to want something different, to take a different path, to stand out, even if it's uncomfortable, even if people don't understand, because your life is yours, not theirs. And you don't owe anyone a life that looks like everyone else's. Stop doing things just because everyone else is doing them. Stop living on autopilot. Stop copying the path you see around you without questioning if it's a path you actually want. Your life is yours, so make sure the choices you're making are yours too, not someone else's version of success, not what you think you're supposed to want, but yours. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of The Quest for Self. If this episode resonated with you and you have a few seconds, please give it a like or share your feedback with me in the comment section. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And if you know someone who you think needs to hear this message, share it with them. Your support means a lot to me and it helps others find this content. You could find me at The Quest for Self on all platforms. And one thing I always want you to remember is you don't have to earn your way to a better version of yourself. You're already becoming that person with every choice you make. Till next time.